Earlier today, on April 19th, 2020, a female correctional officer was attacked by inmates at Sumter Correctional Institution. She's in stable condition right now. She was sent out by emergency medical services from the Sumter Correctional Institution in Central Florida, and she is in stable condition. So before I talk about some of the details that we're getting and the Secretary of Corrections statement, I want to say that we all need to pray tonight for her to make it through the night peacefully and to wake up feeling better tomorrow. Now, this is getting to be too often. These stories are happening across the country. We just had the officers attacked at Cook County Jail in Chicago, where one officer had a fractured skull and bleeding on the brain, and he is in the hospital now recovering. Now we have the female officer in Florida, and the Secretary of Corrections and Department of Corrections report states that an officer was assaulted April 19th while at their post at Sumter Correctional Institution at about 2 p.m. The officer was attacked by multiple inmates and sustained injuries. Other inmates and officers came to the scene to render assistance. That means beating feet to run and help your fellow officer. Good job, officers. And to those inmates that ran in there to help this officer, thank you as well. Thank you very much. Secretary Mark Inch. Now, I'm going to say something. I wish he would get just a little stronger. Maybe he's trying to appease the public a little bit. He won't like what I'm about to say, but now he did say, I want to commend the staff and the inmates who came to this officer's aid during this vicious attack. Very good. Thank you, sir, for that. Our officers showed courage and perseverance under extreme duress. And yes, every day our officers show courage and perseverance. Okay. Correctional officers come to work every day to protect Florida communities and serve courageously in their profession, dedicated to public service. Thank you, sir. We stand behind this officer and pray for a swift and complete recovery. The correctional officer was transported to an area hospital for treatment of non-life-threatening injuries and is in stable condition. Now, here's the one thing I say. Inmates involved will face disciplinary and possible criminal charges. What I would love to hear is more like a sheriff, because you are the sheriff of our corrections department, Secretary. You are the man in charge of the Florida Department of Corrections, and these are all your employees, and this is one of your. I would love to hear you say, not possible charges, but we are going to seek felony criminal charges. We are going to have these inmates responsible arrested and criminally charged. That's what I would love to hear. It's okay to say that. We hear police chiefs and sheriffs saying that all the time. Touch one of my officers and we will arrest you. Pull a gun on one of my officers and we will shoot you. Many sheriffs say that. It's okay. From your military man, I was in the military, let's toughen up a little bit. And let's say we are seeking criminal charges and prosecution to the fullest extent on any inmates we find involved in this incident. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want a leader to say. Everything else you said is great and super and respectful and very much needed to be said. But we want to see some power against these inmates that are attacking our correctional officers. We want to see some force. We want to see them pay for what they did. It's okay to say that, sir. If you ever see this, you probably won't ever see it. I'm just saying this now in case you ever do. But I'm telling you, it's okay to say that. Let's get tough on crime. Let's get tough on these inmates. We're having way too much of this. It's my understanding that an inmate knocked on the control room door to get the officer's attention, and then when the door was open, the officer was bum rushed by approximately 8 inmates or 9 inmates, and they attacked the officer, took the pepper spray away, used the officer's own restraints to restrain the officer, and then proceeded to beat the officer. So I want us to pursue criminal charges to the fullest extent. I want the maximum disciplinary they can get, and I want to see them arrested and taken out for outside charges and serve a lot more time. It's okay to say that. You won't hurt any of our feelings, retired officers such as me or your staff will not. They would love to hear that. Anyway, okay, I'm retired. If I was still working, I couldn't say that. But I'm not working. I'm retired, 28 and a half years corrections and 10 years military. So I can say what I need to say now as a retired person and get it out there. Now, I'm going to leave it at this. Let's pray tonight, dear Lord, to please help this officer to have a peaceful night's rest and wake up in the morning feeling better and have a full recovery. Let's pray for the officer at Cook County Jail with a skull fracture and brain bleed. And please, dear Lord, please protect our officers and please be with them and let them come home safely. Thank you, dear God. Now, if I offended anybody with a prayer, you can skip over that part. Now, I want to leave now with just a little blurb, maybe about 3 minutes worth of what correctional officers have to go through, and I'm not going to say a word. I'm just going to run some clips of some injuries sustained by officers across the country and what we have to face when we deal with these inmates. One more time, I want to thank those officers that responded quickly, and I want to thank the inmates who responded as well to help this officer. Thank you for watching True Prison Stories. Please subscribe, and here we go now with a little going away message. Thank you for watching.